The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps to cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Riftnationnetwork, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Well, hello, all my creepy little weirdos out there. Thank you again for visiting me here on the Horror, History, and Haunting podcast. This is the 11th episode. Thank you so much. If you've watched every episode, I do appreciate you. Tonight we have a actor. He does voice acting. He explains himself as a part-time screenwriter, producer, actor, and a full-time geek, which I associate with your girl's a geek, you know that. But he has also, some of his things that he is known for is he was how I got to know him, he's the voice actor of the internal struggle, I guess is the best way, or the id or the ego, of the killer for the Flower City Butcher, which I was in. Let me tell you, This guy does a creepy voice to the point, like, even on the table reads, I had chills. Like, it was freaky, man. So very talented when it comes to voice acting. He's also a co-writer of a trilogy series called the Raven Mark series. Um, and certainly talk about that. He's also involved with Midnight Maniac, if you're familiar with that film, and Gone with the Wind. Or Gone with the Wind, Gone with the Dead. Gone with the Dead. I'm sorry, Josh. I apologize. So before I mess up any further, welcome Josh GERSH to the show. Hey, Josh.
Hi. Hi there.
Welcome. I butchered
I,
that
re-
introduction, but we made it through.
I remember having some wild times on the set of Gone with the Wind, let me tell you. That was
I imagine all the gusty,
right.
yeah, Scarlet. I don't give a damn,
That's right. That's
with the
right.
zombies running around in the background. It's just the way it is. I
Thank you.
don't know why I said that. I'm so
That
sorry.
was a very nice introduction. Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
I tried. I butchered it. I
No, you're
my way.
we made it. That's all that matters.
Right, right. So, I didn't know that you were a co-author with this trilogy. Can you tell us a little about the Raven Mark series? What's it about?
So Raven Marked is it's actually we have 4 books out. Um so it's not a trilogy. I guess at this point it's a quadrilogy, however you say that. Qu- qu-
Quadro book
quadrilogy,
thing.
quadrilogy, I think. Um, but yeah, so basically it all kind of started, just a quick abridged version, was when I got involved with Justin W. Smith, who did Gone with the Dead and Midnight Maniac and Blood Moon Rising, which was the initial introduction I had with him. Was I got in there as a producer, and Morgan Quaid wrote the screenplay for that based off of Justin's story and original
Okay.
characters and all that kind of stuff. Same thing with Maniac. So they knew each other, had a working relationship, and then me and Morgan just kind of got to chatting, and we turns out we have a lot in common, and we became pretty fast friends. And he was like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing a spinoff of this series that I have called The Seven Hungers. Which he's a maniac. He's written like so many. He's got like 5 or 6 books in progress probably right now. He writes like like
Wow.
20,000 words a day or something ridiculous. He's a machine.
Holy
Um,
crap. I'm barely to get,
he's
like, on a good day, I get
right,
a couple thousand, and that's about it. 20,000?
right.
He is a machine. Like, that's
He is.
insane.
It's so basically he was like, hey, would you like to co-write a spinoff? And so he gave me the idea, with Raven Marked, and basically, so Raven Marked is I have it right there propped up. I don't know if you could see it too well or not. Um Basically it's about a thief named Raven, and she lives in this, it's an urban fantasy setting. So she exists in this world that's very, uh magical, Jim Butcher, Dresden Files kind of stuff, right?
I love those books.
Right, me too. So it's about her and her best friend Mia, and basically Raven, essentially what makes her a good thief is she has this ability to um basically teleport anything she sees into her hand.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
obviously that's good for thieving. And her friend Mia, her best friend
Right?
Mia, she summons Fae, and so she has these Fae abilities, but she's kind of bad at it. So she'll try and summon this Fae that would, help them in a particular predicament. Like, hey, I need this one that's a badass to cast a fireball over there, and instead it'll be like a bloated, belching thing that just sort of sits and farts itself to sleep. Um, and And so basically in Ravenmark,
That's too funny.
they pull a job off together. They go to this, this rich dude's mansion, to rob from him. They have a boss and they got sent there, obviously, and trying to tread lightly, spoilers and stuff. But what ends up happening is they stumble upon this crazy eldritch like ritual. And Raven essentially gets possessed by a demon god, and her entire body gets emblazoned with these sort of embering tattoos, and she has all of so basically she becomes the vessel of this harbinger, and basically she has to then figure out in her own way, like, oh, this sucks, how can I not have this happen to me? um all sorts of twists and turns along the way. But yeah, it's good. It's a good time. You should definitely give it a read if you're into that kind of thing. If your
Yeah,
proclivities
definitely.
lie urban fantasy, horror, adventure, snarky,
All
smart
the
ass
above.
protagonists, all that
No,
stuff,
me,
it's
smart
right up
ass,
your alley.
never. Mm-mm. Goes completely against my nature. I never like sarcasm. What do you mean?
Right. Um, and also check out, the mainline series as well, the Seven Hungers. I believe he just recently ended it. Gosh, I'm sorry, Morgan, if you see this. 7 or 8 books in that run, I think.
Wow. Yeah, he's
Uh,
a machine, man.
but you have no idea. Like, it's actually
I can't
insane.
get through one. I can't get
Right.
through one book,
He
let
he
alone
makes
write.
me he makes me feel like a underachiever, lazy writer. Like, I'm like, dude, I can't keep up with you. So that's how we basically landed on the books and everything. And he's great. He's amazing. He's a fantastic, wonderful human being. I love him to death, and he's a great creative partner and creative collaborator. Anytime I'm feeling sort of down creatively, we'll have us a little session. We'll have us a little Teams
You'll have
meeting or a little.
you have a little sesh and
He
spilled the
he.
tea,
Right,
and hype.
exactly.
You have to have a hype party.
Right,
Get
right.
you back
And
motivated.
and every single time that I'm done, like, I'm like, dude, yeah, I want to write right now.
That's
So,
awesome. That's amazing. No, when you were talking about like you were hitting all the high points, and because I'm a sci-fi geek, I
mm,
love horror, as you know, because that's how we met through
right,
horror films. I
right.
love psychological. I love fantasy aspect. Like it's definitely a series that I'd be interested in checking out and reading myself, because I was impacted by the Driston. A lot of people don't know this, but in my original podcast that I started years ago, it was called the Rocking or the Haunted or yeah Haunted Tales of the Old Rocking Chair. Sorry, Rift Radio Network. My brain had a malfunction there, but I got there in the end. But when I first did that, I was so scared to be on camera that I would pre-record everything,
Hmm.
all the stories I would do, and then I would just play with the camera facing this prop skull I have with candles
Hey,
around it.
like
But
Bob.
that, yep, that's exactly. I called him Bob. Like everybody that knows me knows that's Bob. And I have other
Hmm.
skulls because I have a thing for fake skeletons. And
Okay,
that every one of my skulls in my collection have a name, and he
okay.
was the first, and he's always been Bob. So, and
That's
my
awesome.
cat's name's Raven. So, and she's a black
That's
cat,
great.
and she likes to
That's
steal my heart.
that is incredibly apt. To the first Raven book in a lot of ways. So yeah, yeah, I would love for you to check it out, and if you do, then obviously, feel free to give feedback and what you thought and all that kind of stuff if you do read it.
We
But if you
might have
don't,
to
it won't hurt
talk
my feelings.
about
There's no issues.
maybe getting you on the other podcast that I'm starting in January. We could
Oh,
discuss that. I'm starting a second podcast because I'm glutton for punishment and I must be a masochist. But I really, really wanted something because the more like I got involved with movies and everything, and I'm
Hmm.
like I said, I'm trying to do some writing myself.
Yeah.
That there's not really a podcast out there that helps promote writers and get like independent authors out there. So there is some, but it's more of like a review, and it's not,
Right. Yeah. 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 I know what
you
you're
know.
saying. Yeah.
But basically, the format's going to be three. It's a 4 week cycle kind of book club
Okay.
where I
Okay.
read the story out loud for 3 episodes. On the fourth episode, I bring the author on, and then we discuss the book and inspirations and all writing techniques, stuff like that. And it's kind of like it gives a test, like a teaser, where you get to find out if you really like the book, but you don't get to hear the ending. So the book's never
Okay.
finished. Then they're forced to go, you know, get the book themselves to finish the story,
That's a really
which
cool idea.
hopefully,
That's
yeah. So it starts
yeah.
January 2nd.
Cool.
Derek Barton has agreed to be my first guinea pig. Thank you, Derek,
Okay.
with his book, The Eclipse. But we'll have to talk. Maybe
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
definitely that
We
book
could
sounds
do
right
a.
up my alley. So,
We could do like even if we can, we could do like a three-way and get Morgan in too. We'd have to work it
yeah,
out times. We'd
that
have
would
to
be
work it
awesome.
out time zone wise on that one though, because he's in Australia. Um.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah. We will have to work, but see the live X. Well, maybe we could pre. Anyway, we'll discuss it later. I don't want to take up the
sure.
your
No. No. That
time
sounds
for
great.
other
Yeah. Yeah.
projects on that project.
Have your people get in touch with my people.
Right. Contact my agent, man. Which I forget I have sometimes. Um, but that's just me. I'm used to
I,
doing everything myself. So it's like,
right.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
do
have.
have Adam. I can't call
I'm unrepresented, so I have no idea what any of that's like.
him. I Adam's cool. I like Adam. Um, oh, I lost my train of thought. Now, I know your. I wanted to ask you, could you do the
Okay.
voice? Just a little bit of the voice? A little bit?
Um.
Can I throw you
Well,
out
first,
there on the
well,
stage?
first of all, I did previously tell you I don't know if you could tell by hearing my voice. I'm a little
Oh, yeah,
under
you're
the weather
sick.
still.
Okay, I'm not going to put you in
Um,
the spotlight then.
but also at the same time, it's like, well, we need to get the people to watch the movie though, so we don't need to, you know, you want to hear the voice,
Right.
watch the movie, you know.
Oh, very true, very true. And the movie that we're
Right.
talking about is with the Kamanos. That they
Hmm.
wrote and directed it. It is
Right.
a crowd-funded Indiegogo independent film. It's called The Flower
Hmm.
City Butcher. You may have seen some posts because the original title was Boredom and Bloodshed, and then they decided to change the title because the title sells the movie, and that's just a better title. And it's all about a guy struggling um, with impulses and self control. And there's a dark aspect, supernatural aspect that I don't want to give away. You have to watch the movie. You don't really know if it's in his head or if it's, actually something supernatural that's going on, and people are just kind of, manipulating him. Like it's a very interesting interpretation of a typical thrasher horror.
Yeah.
But it has
Yeah,
an
that's
awesome
what.
cast.
Yeah, absolutely stacked,
Oh my
and a
God. Like,
bunch of just a bunch of great people.
right.
And
Fantastic people.
the stuff that Christian Bester is doing with that character is so good. He's so good. I had the privilege of having a one-on-one with him when we were sort of developing how it was gonna, it was me, him, Anthony, and Mandy, and just sort of, I would kind of get lost in, the moment because I would just be watching him and just seeing him, come up with stuff on the fly, and I was just like, yeah, so that's what a real actor is. That's what a real actor
Right.
looks like.
And he's very down to earth. He
Um,
talks to
he
anybody. I
is.
noticed that, when I was, there, even though we had been up with the one scene, we were having a lot of technical issues. Eventually, I think they had to cut it out because it just wouldn't work. because we were in such a tight space and it was so many characters in one place trying to interact. We were up till like 5 in the morning
Hmm.
filming that scene, and the whole time, like, he was professional, he was calm, like, he helps out with everything. Like, there's nothing
Hmm.
that's above or below him in any way, shape, or form. Like, he'll carry food, he'll carry lights, he helps set up sets. Like, he really, and he talks to anybody. It doesn't matter. Like, mine is only, couple lines, but he treated me just like somebody he has lines in every scene with. And I was really
Hmm.
impressed with him. And Mandy and Anthony are very approachable people, and I have no
Hmm.
doubt that this is going to be an amazing film when it comes out. I'm just, sad because they had to cut out one of my scenes, but that, eh, for the greater good
Yeah,
of the
as
movie, I
the greater
understand.
good. That's right. That's right. Yeah,
So
I'm
I
excited
only
about
get
it. I
a
think
cameo.
it'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's great.
Oh, it'll be awesome. I have no doubt.
Wasn't
Just
Correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, we're not going to get into like specifics or anything, but wasn't the scene you're in also with Ari Lehman?
yes, yes. I'm a scene with
Okay,
Ari. Um,
that's what I
I
thought. Yeah,
play
yeah.
I play Kelsey, which was the sister of the girl in the shop. And
Right,
we kind of get
right,
creeped
right,
out by Christian Bester's
right,
character, and we have a brief interaction with Ari Lehman, which was cool.
right.
He was another one that I was surprised he was down to earth, and he
Hmm.
took the time to be like, why don't we do it this way? How about this way, to make it more authentic? And can you make sure you stand, like, because I didn't know anything about movies. He was the one that pointed out about, what do they call it? Not blocking, but where they you make
Like hitting your mark.
a point. Yeah, hitting your mark. I
Yeah.
couldn't remember the actual phrase for it, but he was the one that explained how important it is to hit your mark and make sure you're at the right place every scene. and
Hmm.
and then Christian also uh, helped with the hallway scene because they really made marks actually on the floor, so we knew exactly where to stand and
Right.
say and how to do it and everything. And I was just amazed how patient everyone was because you're dealing with a lot of new people, but they're so talented. There's so many people that aren't big names in the
Hmm.
film industry, but they just have natural talent. The
Right.
one, the young actress that plays the leading, and I don't want to say the main girl in the film. She was
Hmm.
extremely talented for being as young as she was. I can't remember her
Yeah.
name. I'm so sorry. But yeah, she was extremely, and her mom was so supportive.
It's Michaela? Is that it?
Yeah, Michaela. I didn't want to say wrong, but yes, she
Yeah.
is
I
extremely talented and driven.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That should serve her well. Um,
Hmm.
as long as she's got, a good head on her shoulders and a good support system around her, she should be, you know, it should speak for
I think
itself.
she's got a bright future for herself. She really
Yeah,
does,
absolutely.
especially because she has her family backing and everything. So
Well, that's good.
I
That's
think it'll
good.
be great. Now, the other films I wasn't too familiar with, but it was the oh, where's my notes? Because I don't want to say it again wrong. Midnight Maniac.
Mhm.
What's that film about?
So Midnight Maniac is so that's the end of the three piece that I call it that I have involved with Justin W. Smith. Um, Gone with the Dead being the first one. I have a
Oh,
co-writing
okay.
credit on there. I have a co-writing credit on that film, even though my writing contributions to that film were extremely minimal, but he was kind enough to give me a full-blown writer's credit. So like in the opening credits, boom. And I even got the which was cool because it's like five writers and it's
Oh,
like boom, boom, boom,
nice.
boom, boom, and Josh Gersh. And I was like, yes, look at that.
Yes. Best for last.
But
Love it.
so basically the opening credits is my writing contribution to that film. There's like news reports that play over it, and I wrote most of those. But And then there was Blood Moon Rising, which I had nothing to do with in a writing capacity. but during the development of Midnight Maniac, which Morgan wrote the screenplay for, Justin asked me to take a pass at it, take a look at it, do some rewrites, do some revising. I pretty much redid the ending and added a few scenes to it. So, like, basically, I'm a full blown co writer at that point on it. And it's hilarious because Morgan, told me that because I read the script before I did anything with it. And I was like, wow, this is a really solid, like, slasher script. And Morgan was like, yeah, dude. He's like, I don't even like slasher films. I've never even seen one. And it's like, it's like for not liking them and have never seen one, you wrote a hell of a slasher script, sir. Because that's testament to just how good of a writer he is. So anyway, I did what I did on it, and I think we landed in a pretty good spot. It's a really solid script, and they've crowdfunded it a bit. They've shot some of it. I'm not sure of all the particulars at this current point, but I know that they've had several nights of shooting. Um, but it's a 80s throwback slasher flick, basically about a serial killer in the 80s who kidnapped a group of teenagers and slaughtered them all except for one, of course, who got away. The final girl got
The
away and all
survivor.
that. And
Yeah.
and then cut to more present day. There is someone who's they're basically doing a documentary about what happened and stuff like that. And other things happen during the course of that. Of course, the killer returns, and you know, other things
Blood
happen,
and
and
stuff
that's right.
happen.
That's right. Yes. So it should be good fun.
Blood and gore.
I'm not sure when. Right. You got to. I mean, come on.
Right.
So I'm not sure. It's probably going to take a while, being realistic. Because of the way they have to shoot it. Sometimes you're dependent on a bunch of different people's schedules and all that, and that's sort of the thing with indie filmmaking in general is you're at the mercy of a lot of variables. I mean, it's that way with anything, right? But with indie filmmaking, it's like, you know, you could like one cog in the machine doesn't do what it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to do. You could be screwed like royally. So,
Most
yeah.
definitely. And you're dealing with a lot of unknown variables in the way of like depending on if you're having people that I mean, it's great for people like me who've never done acting or been involved with film to learn. Because, especially if you
Mhm.
have an open mind and you're willing to learn, it's a great
Right.
opportunity. But I can understand the frustration because you're welcoming in a whole group of unseasoned actors and people that have possibly never been on a set before. They don't know,
Hmm.
etiquette and quiet on the set, that kind of thing, and learning
Right.
those type of things. So yeah, I can completely understand that. Now, since you've done both, is there similarities to writing a book, to writing a screenplay, or do you take a whole different approach when doing that?
Um, Me personally,
Mm-hmm.
it is a bit different, because I find that I can write a lot easier if it's in screenplay format, because you're basically just playing a movie in your head and then describing the movie, right? You're just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's an exterior shot at night, rainy warehouse, three guys in leather jackets walk up with guns and then something kills them, yada yada yada. So, and just the way that I can write better, I think, in that format, especially with like, thank God for like good screenwriting software, or I really would be lost. Like, because when I get on a roll and I just start typing, like if I had to like individually like space all that stuff out, like back in the day when I used to write with just like Microsoft Word, and I would have to try and format it manually as I wrote,
Mm-hmm.
I would. Oof. But doing it in prose and like in a novel form, it's just the struggle that I sometimes have with it is things can get jumbled a bit sometimes. Like sometimes I'll forget to like that's why editing is so important and proofreading and all that. Like sometimes I'll forget to like space the dialogue appropriately and all that jazz. So I you know they are a bit different, at least from in my opinion they are. But I think I probably prefer the screenplay side of things, which is hilarious because I've written more of the other than I have like to completion.
For
I'll say to
screenplays.
completion because I've written scripts for comic books that never happened. I've written several screenplays that aren't finished. I've written ever since I was 13 years old. I've began writing novels, and so there's a lot of like long lost literature that I began to write. So maybe one day will
Oh,
resurface. I don't know.
yeah. With my ADHD, I love to write. I've always loved to write. But my biggest thing,
Uh,
because I'm such in a rush, because I want to get all these,
right.
things down, that I have a tendency to forget to describe things. That's my difficulty. And I have a hard time staying in present tense and keeping tense regular. But that's my
No,
biggest
that's a
flaw.
big
Like,
one
I'll
for
be
me.
like,
That's a big one for
yeah.
me. In the novel form is the tense. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like Raven said this to Mia. Mia responds. And it's like, no, you just screwed it up right there. Like it should be
Yeah.
Mia responded, you know. So, but again,
And
that's
I'm
why you
guilty
have editors and
badly.
proofreaders and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But even
Beta
then,
readers.
that's the thing that really, really gets under my skin sometimes is on the first three Raven books. Um, we wrote it obviously, and then we both took editing passes on it and then had another editor take a pass on it. We had beta readers, we had all this stuff, and boom, boom, boom. We're like, yep, I feel really good about all this. I get the book in my hands eventually. I'm reading it, and I'm like, well, that's a mistake. It's 20 pages later. Oh, there's another mistake. It's like, damn.
How
It's
did I
like you
miss
can't,
it?
it's unavoidable. It's
Right.
unavoidable. Like, I have
And
like,
nobody's the worst critic than yourself.
well, of
And
course, yeah. And I'm especially
human
that way. Like,
nature is
I,
just part
right.
of nature. Like, it's gonna happen.
Right.
We can't be
But I
100%
take
perfect
solace in the
100% of
fact
the time.
that like mainstream novels, there's mainstream novels out there that have like typos and
Even
grammatical
Stephen King.
errors and stuff that right, yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah. And it's like
yeah, it's like how did he miss
all
that?
the coke
Like
all the cocaine in the world didn't stop him from making a typo, you know.
well, I hate to say it, like it's just my personal thing. Some of the best novels, his visceral novels, not just because
Hmm.
he's come out with some really great novels. Don't get me wrong, but the visceral ones
Uh-huh.
were, I think, when he had the most heavy drug use. So it's like,
Uh-huh.
it's drug
Now there's
addiction
something to
is
that,
awful,
for sure.
but it
Yes.
actually, he can't duplicate that, unfortunately, without
Right.
that kind of substance abuse, which
Right.
is unfortunate.
Right.
But it's better be healthy than, you know, be nitty or gritty author, I guess.
Yes. Well, my favorite author is Philip K. Dick. And so he had a long history with drug use, psychedelics, mental illness, all these things. He was a genius, though. Don't get me wrong. He was a genius. Um, but most of the stuff he wrote involves things like drug use, drug addiction,
Hmm.
mental illness, high concept strangeness, like, um, and it's, and you could say that Edgar Allan Poe and like
Oh yeah.
H.P. Lovecraft and like all these guys that had Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that H.P. Lovecraft was his was mostly mental illness. I don't think he. I didn't know the man obviously, but I don't know. But I don't know that. I'm not sure that I've ever recalled him hearing that he had any crazy drug use or alcoholism or anything like that. But
Yeah, because
his was
he
mostly, like I
he
said,
he
mental
had to
illness
have
and
mental.
xenophobia and such.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, he did for sure. And it's actually quite sad when you dig into it. Um, but I mean, again, the tortured minds often do, like you kind of implied with Stephen King, produce some of the best art. Mm.
Mhm.
You can use that in
Because some of the
writing,
best
in
art is
visuals.
right. I mean, for me, the best characters are the ones that are flawed. And the only way to write a
Yeah. Oh
flawed
yeah.
character is to be flawed yourself. Because without that, like,
Yes.
what are you writing from?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and
A
I've had
hundred
to
percent
kind of learn
agree.
that the hard way. Like, I can't
Yeah.
portray, or I can't write a character that's not without flaws. Because everybody has flaws.
Right. And I find it's crazy that you brought that up because I had a similar conversation not too long ago with some friends of mine about that. It's like I feel like nowadays there's this weird proclivity in movies and in video games and TV and maybe in some books too, but like there's characters that are just like awesome and like just because they're awesome and you're just like I find that incredibly boring.
Yeah.
Um like I don't need some flawless protagonist. I need you to like, you know, be like love some alcohol every now and then or have some, you have a pink bunny rabbit that talks to you like on occasion that no one else can see. Something, give me something. Like
Hmm.
I don't know that I've ever enjoyed a story that had like a yeah, I'm right there with you. Like I tend to write incredibly flawed characters, like who have a
And
lot
they
going
make for
on,
the
who are
best characters.
right. I would
They
say
really do.
Raven might be the most air quotes. She's certainly not flawless, but I would say she might be closer to the, you know, normal side of whatever, but she still has her share of flaws, you know.
She's more pristine than other characters you've written.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah, because I especially in the screenplay department, like I write characters that are pretty messed up, like, in various forms. Um, and there's a novel that I return to every few years that maybe one day I'll finish that is really heavy thematically, and I think that's the reason why I've never finished it because it really bums me out when I write it.
That's what I was gonna say. Does it
And
drain you? Like,
yeah, very much so. Because it heavy themes about, grief, guilt, um, questioning, existential things like the existence of God, your place in the universe. Is there
life
such
after
thing
death.
as right? Is there such a thing as like unforgivable acts, like truly? And it's like a dark detective story, sort of a thing that deals with just a lot of heavy subject matter. And it's like I said, maybe one day I'll finish it, but it's the one that's constantly being like, I'll write 10 pages of it and not touch it for a year. And then
But it's always in
rinse
the
and
back of
repeat.
your mind, haunting
Right,
you.
right.
Like,
Exactly.
those characters are always alive back there, begging
Yeah,
to take up some time. But you're like, no, not today,
right.
Satan. Not in
Exactly.
this moment.
That's right.
Now, how I got to know you was through voice acting.
Hmm.
How Have you ever done any state like on screen acting, or has it always just been voice acting?
um, no, not really. So I would say 2 years ago now. I think it was two. I helped a friend of mine do. He did a short film on YouTube, and it's unfortunately not there anymore. I have to talk to him and see if he can put it back up. But it was basically about this incident that happened in, I want to say, the 70s in Wales, where they had basically like a Roswell level incident where like there was a UFO crash and extraterrestrials and all this kind of crazy stuff. And he had a section of it where there's a couple of different, YouTube personalities talking about this incident or
Okay.
whatever. And I was one of those. I was basically like the skeptic guy, to where I'm just like,
Hmm.
this is horseshit. This is,
Bupkis.
people thought they heard things and saw green lights and blah 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 blah, but it was
The
investigated by the
sarcastic
government.
skeptic.
And right, it was investigated by the government, and the government never lies. So um
Hold on. Okay, I'm not gonna spit my tea this time.
but
The
it was
government
fun.
never
I helped
lies.
him with that. And I had my beard was much longer than too. It was like down to here. Uh but that was probably it until I saw. So initially the first thing I got in with the kimonos on was horror hound bites.
Right.
Um
Yeah, I was gonna bring
doing
that up because I'm supposed to play a ghost in that too.
Okay. Well, I am the incredible invisible Irwin, a
Oh,
magician
nice.
character. He's an invisible magician whose magic tricks never go according to plan.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. I'm
so that
looking
was
forward to that
that was
project
fun.
too. That
Me
looks like it's going to
too.
be a lot of fun because
Right.
it pokes fun at itself
Yes.
in a very. It reminds me almost of like mystery the was it
Mystery
theater
Science
1000
Theater
or 3000? Yeah,
3000.
it kind
Mystery
of
Science
reminds me
Theater
kind of
3000.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Mhm.
kind of reminds me of that with like an Elvira like crawling
Elvira,
out of the crypt vibe.
Spindly kind of thing. Like I love that stuff. Like
Midnight
it.
matinee.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love all of that stuff. And I love it's a good group of people too. And I just feel like once it gets the ball rolling again on it, it should be a lot of fun. It should be a nice contrast as well from something that's kind of more edgy and messed up, like Flower City Butcher.
Yeah, and
And
dark.
then, right. So to go from that voice to, the sort of more fun, magician voice, which I had some, it's not, that voice is a little bit different. It's kind of just mine, but a little bit more stagey, like, oh, if I was on
Hmm.
stage presenting, like, what would that be like? Um, but then going to what was it? The last table read we did for Flower City Butcher. What did Jeremy Hirsch say? He said, he said that I sounded like demented Clint Eastwood or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I remember that.
and I was like,
Howdy,
hmm.
partner.
Okay, I'll take that, Well, I didn't really think about that. Like, I could sort of like explain maybe like how I came up with it, but it's really not that interesting of a story. So, you know, I
But
don't
yeah,
feel like it.
just
Like
wait, because
I'm incredibly
that
flattered
voice
that you
makes the
say that.
movie.
I'm glad that you like it so much, and it's incredibly flattering that you say that it's so like it gives you chills and everything like that. That makes me happy as like the performer to be like, okay, I feel like
Right.
I'm doing my job there. Um,
Yeah, even with like the table reads and stuff, I was like, oh, like that's different. Like it's not like that. overly dramatic, gravelly, husky type of. It's almost like y-
Yeah,
the
that was
way
actually
he
going to be a
described it.
question that I was right. I was going to ask you that, like, right after that anecdote about what Jeremy said, like, what do you think? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, what do you think it's like? How would you describe it? Like,
It was very like unsettling in the way of like the duality of how the character is portrayed and what his
hmm
internal voice sounds like there, because it's
yeah,
so different, and you can like sense the subconsciousness of it, the deep dark, like, because your voice had bass in it, but it's not so bassy that it sounds super super like theatrical, you know what I mean?
right.
Like, and I get where he's getting that slow, calm demeanor that Clint Eastwood's famous for. The whole,
hmm
you know, that even if it's gory or it's rough, he just says it so calmly and like an everyday thing. So, like, I was like, wow, like that makes that character full fleshed out character. You know what I mean? Because he goes from
Yeah.
Christian Bester's portrayal of what I could see as this quiet, meek, polite introvert personality to this
hmm
dark, almost of a sensual beast inside of him that's just like,
hmm
you know, she would be so easy to break. She doesn't realize like what kind of beast is
Right.
lurking in this. Like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like you're the wolf
Well,
that's inside the sheep,
right. So those are
begging.
there's two things you said just then that make me very happy because those are things that I drew on. One of them is being exactly that, the wolf in sheep's clothing kind of a concept, and then you using the word sensual. And now I mean that in a way that, yeah, like it's I tried to be conscious of the fact that the voice needs to be somewhat like, it needs to be unsettling, obviously, but it also needs to be somewhat alluring to like,
Mm-hmm.
you
That
know,
you wanted.
come on, you need to give in to this. You want this. You
Mm-hmm.
really do. Like,
This is
this
what you
is who you
really
really
want
are
to
kind of a
do.
thing.
This is how it
Yes.
would feel and how good it would feel.
Right.
Just think about, the
Right.
sensation of it. And that's kind of
Unreal.
You
like
know. Uh,
when you put on
right.
that internal dialogue, like it makes the
Yeah.
character just pop
Right.
out. And it's just it's an amazing, like, you're very talented when it comes to that, and I'm kind of excited about doing horror hound bites because it'll be interesting because it's so different, completely polar different. Because
Yeah.
you go from this
Mhm.
very visceral, dark, bloody, you know, like
Right.
serial killer, like deep in the pit darkness, to go to this
Yeah.
light, humorous, I was, taking a walk through the cemetery last night like I do, and I tripped over
Right.
a headstone. And you know what I thought? It says light, and then it has the her little sidekick that's more is a puppet, puppet
Yeah.
dog.
Right.
Completely different, very like still
Rufus.
horror, Rufus. I wanted to say
Mm.
it was Rufus, but we have a cat named Rufus, and I was like, am I getting that backwards? um but it's such a difference. It'll be fun to
Yeah.
find out because I enjoy voice acting, but I don't think I would be very good at it because I can't do accents very, I'm not talented in that way with voices,
Hey,
and I think some of it's my accent. I can't.
so well, I don't think I'm particularly good at it, to be honest with you. It's just that I've spent a lot of my life messing with my voice in a way. Just so, like, when I was a small child, I live in the South. So when I was 4 and 5, years old, little boy in Alabama. I sounded, no lie, this is not an exaggeration. I have the VHS tapes to prove it, unfortunately. My mother won't give them up, but the day she does, I will burn them. Um, I sounded like Forrest Gump. Like, no
Oh,
joke, no joke. It is so,
that's adorable.
and I hated it, and I was so self-conscious about it for a long time. So,
Hey,
in my early,
mama.
yeah, yeah, way worse though. It was, oof.
Hmm.
In my early teenage years, I decided to sort of coach myself vocally to not sound like that anymore. And so
Right?
just from doing that every single day, all day, it eventually amalgamated into whatever it is now. And it's just this sort of whatever it is voice. Now, there's people that will tell, like some of my friends from the UK will be like, yeah, you kind of have a Southern accent a little bit. But people from the South here will be like, where are you from?
Oh,
And I'll just
honey,
be
there's
like,
where are you from? Like,
right,
you sweet
right.
little
And I'll be
darling. Where did
like,
you
well, they'll be like, where are you from? And I'll be like, I'm from here. And they'll be like, no, no, I mean originally. Like, you don't sound like you're from here.
where right?
Like, you know how to
Well, see,
change your
I
own
didn't
oil,
even
boy? I don't think
realize
you do. You know?
you can change a flat tire. The
Right.
thing for me is I didn't realize even I had an accent till I moved out west. And I lived there about
Yeah.
2 years in Wyoming. And I didn't realize like how much even like the phrases. I didn't know they were regional wide phrases. Cause I would like
Yeah.
I get frustrated with somebody at work. I'm like, he's worthless than tits on a boar hog. But that's something I grew up hearing, and I go
Right.
out to Wyoming. They said, "What did you just say?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Say it again." I'm like, "I am not here for your amusement."
Right. Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, "You don't see her?" And they're like, "We have never heard that in our entire existence. Say it again." I'm like, "I'm not saying it again."
So
Now I'm
like
self
where
conscious
you
about it.
so like where are you originally from?
I grew up in a very small town in the Appalachian Mountains of West Virginia. But
Okay.
when I became an adult, I moved around. So
Okay.
when I away from West Virginia, my accent kind of goes away. But now that I live back in West Virginia, I've noticed it getting thicker and thicker as time moves on, and I'm starting to just sound more and more
Yeah.
like my older sister, who's lived in West Virginia
Okay.
most of her life.
Do you find that it's dependent upon like who you're around?
Oh, definitely. And how tired I
Yeah.
am. What was really funny is
Yes.
my sister's accent is so thick that when I was 16, we went to my aunt's house in Chicago, and her husband got hurt, and they had to take him to the emergency room. He actually broke his foot. Well, she was trying to explain to the doctor what was wrong, and the doctor's like, "Honey, I love your accent, but I can't understand a word you're saying." And my aunt stepped up. She goes, "I am fluent in redneck. I will translate." And she literally had to translate what my sister was saying to the doctor, and and then she was trying to translate it back to my sister. My sister's
Hmm.
like, "I know damn well what he just said." It's like it's not my
That's
fault he
right.
can't
Yeah.
understand common English, you know,
Exactly.
because she's
Exactly right.
sarcastic
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I am. She's
That's
spicy.
so funny. That's so funny. Yeah, and it's crazy too
So that's
because
what I
like
say.
there's so many different like anywhere, right? But in America, like there's so many different like regional accents that are
Hmm.
it's kind of
And there's
crazy.
some deep, like there's even like language difference on how things are called. Because like in
Oh
Southern
yeah.
West Virginia, like they have phrases that nobody else uses. Like, I'm going on the porch and have a ponder.
Hmm.
Well, most people are like, what the hell is that? And it's like, I'm going, or I'll go sit
Gonna
a
go
spell.
think?
And all it
Yeah.
means is I'm going to go think.
Yeah,
But
right.
people they'll be like, man, outside is awful windish. And they'll be like, windish? It's windy, but that's not English. Like, why are they? So it's like, it's based on where you, like, I make fun of my boyfriend all the time because he says whoosh. He's like, I gotta
Warsh,
wash
yeah.
clothes. And I
Gotta
said,
go Warsh.
and
Yeah.
he says, orange. He doesn't say
Or yeah.
orange. It's orange.
Does he
But
does
he's
he
Maryland,
say
so
does he say oh from Maryland, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So how does he say
yeah,
oil?
Eastern. So
Does he say
oil, oil, oil. I think like he accentuates it because he makes fun of me because he pointed out the other day there's one word. It means two things, and most people pronounce it differently. But because of my accent, I can't. And I can't remember what the word was. I can't fully remember. I think he's sleeping. All right, ask him. There's something like he's like, say this word. And he's like, now say that word. And he's like, you're saying the same word. I said, no, I'm not. Um,
right,
oh, I can't
yeah.
remember what it was, but it was just the twang in my voice. I can't not say it that way.
Right.
And he gets upset. I said caramel and syrup. It drives him crazy. It's syrup. Syrup. Say it with me. Syrup. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's syrup.
I don't say it either of those ways, which is crazy.
What do you say?
So, it's syrup.
That's more or less how he says it.
Oh,
Syrup.
okay.
Syrup.
But I
It
drive
just sounds foreign to me.
I drive people down here crazy. Like they'll be like, you're from here. Why are you saying it like you're not from here? Like, well, because I don't do the thing that a lot of Southern people do that have really thick accents. It's called goose fronting. So like when you have like a double O sort of a thing, it's like drawn out, like goose,
Yeah, I'm
like
guilty of it.
goose,
Goose.
like they'll just draw it out,
Goose.
right? Exactly. And I'm just more goose. It's just more
Yeah, I would say
hard cut
goose.
kind of a thing.
And or I'm hard on R's too, I've noticed. Like I can't roll R's. My mouth won't let me do that. But it's like if I'm saying truck, the
Uh-huh.
TR is like reduced and the R is like pushed out. Truck. Like I
It's like
pronounce I
it's like
see it
real
whenever I
aggressive.
analyze it. Yeah, like there's certain
Truck.
letters with yeah. It's people are like, man, that come across a little. I'm like, I'm not being aggressive. I'm just that's how I
Right.
talk, and I'm loud. You know.
No, I understand that. I'm right there with you. I my voice can
That's why.
carry, that's for sure.
Oh, you can't miss me in a room, no matter how quiet I am. They're like, yep, there's Chris. She may be tiny, but we can hear her a mile away. We know exactly where she's at in the building.
That's
Anybody,
that's
I'm easy to spot.
well, not to pivot, but like to go back to what
Pivot,
we were just talking about though with right pivot. Uh
pivot.
the contrast between Flower City Butcher and Horror Hound Bites. That's why it was a conscious decision that I made vocally to be like, I need these two performances to be drastically different, just like
Completely
the
different.
projects are
Yeah.
drastically different. I even toyed with the notion of doing like a really silly, like high pitched thing, maybe even doing like a British accent. And Mandy was like, no, 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 we don't got to get that crazy. And I'm like, okay, okay. She was like, I just want you to be like, a showman, just be like, and I was like, okay, I got you. So, um, but I was fully prepared to be like, and I was diving into it too. I was like, hey, what if, he has a different voice before the trick, and then when the trick goes bad and he has his follow-up lines, maybe the facade slips and
Mm-hmm.
the put on voice goes away and you hear his real voice and it's different. And then I think that was just she's like, no, no, that's not. No, I'm like, okay, cool. I get it though because it was just me doing too much. It was me doing too much extra.
Yeah.
Right. It was just me doing too much extra character work, which I have a bad habit of doing. Um, I'm one of those that's like, I got the backstory figured out. Like I'll know what I'm told, and then just be like, okay, and then I'll flesh it out because that's my writer brain doing that. That's not an
Mm-hmm.
actor thing to me. That's my writer brain that does that.
Yeah, most definitely. Because, like, I had a hard time, I think, because during the table reads, because I really didn't understand, like, what the scene was about and why we're doing it, why are we there. Like, there were so many things that and plus, it was my first time, like, really doing, table read stuff like that. So I was kind of anxious anyway. But I think a lot of it
Mm,
was I didn't really know what the character was or who she was. You know what I mean? So I
mm,
didn't know how to like be somebody besides my meek and minor self, and you know
right,
take on another persona. So that's a very big
right.
challenge that I'm looking forward to with the horror hand bites. Even though it's a small performance, I hope it's
Hmm.
something completely different that's kind of out of my normal personality. Because
Right.
that's,
How many episodes are you for that?
I think, just one right now.
Okay. I can't remember what I think there's 12 episodes I think they're gonna do.
Yeah, I think they were talking about 8 or 12 the last time I spoke to them about it.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
and
it's
then they were,
12. I think it's 12. And I'm
but
in
that
like
was
8
before
or
they
10 of
started
them.
restructuring it.
Right. Yeah, due to the restructure, I'm not sure. I'd have to find out when they go full steam ahead again. Um,
Hmm.
but
Well, and I just
honestly,
kind of, I'm letting, because I know that they've been
right.
stressed and everything, because they
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
wrapped
yeah.
up the
Right.
final, scenes of Flower City Butcher.
Right, right.
So I'm them, you know,
Yes.
have the, do their magic for that, and then because we'll
Yes.
get to Horehound Bites when
I told
things are a
them
little
the
bit
same
calmer.
thing. Right. I told them the same thing for both of them because, like, obviously they need me later than everyone else for Flower City Butcher. Um, I just said, "Hey, I'm here when you need me. Take your time." So that's basically it. I'm just like, "I'm here when you need me. Hit me up. I'm ready to work when you need me to be." So but it's just about, I get what you're saying though. You were talking about being like nervous and meek and everything like that. And like it's really just having fun. Like that's the thing that helps me anytime I feel nervous. It's like, look, no, you have to think about how ridiculous this all is anyway. Of what has like breaking it down fundamentally, like making a movie, you're like, we're a bunch of people pretending something that's not really
Playing dress
happening.
up.
Right, exactly. So like as
Playing
soon as you
dress
do
up.
that, right, as soon as you do that, it's loosey goosey. It's just like, all right, we're here to have fun. That confidence comes, and you're just like, all right, it's time to play. It's playtime. So obviously there's times for seriousness and professional, but like when it comes to just so I just feel like as you get more on set time and stuff going, you'll be fine. I think you would be
Yeah.
perfectly fine. You've got the all the tools. So
Well, it's like, and the more you do it, the better you relax. Because, like I said, the first time I started podcasting, this thing right here scared the crap out of me, and I wanted no part of it. In all my videos, I just wanted voice, and I wanted to be able to
mm,
edit before anybody heard anything. And I put myself under so much stress and pressure because I was editing sound effects and background music to every story, and I was doing like 10 stories per episode, and doing rewrites. It was too much because I was so
yeah,
insecure about myself, not
yeah,
just my art or what I was trying to do. I was secure about myself. So I've had to do a lot of soul searching, but now she's my friend. I'm petting the camera
that's
for
right,
those of
that's
you
right.
that watching. And I'm realizing it's not that bad, and it's actually a lot of fun. I enjoy doing anything where I get to meet new people, see new places, hang out.
Right, exactly. That's all. It's
But
just about having
acting,
fun.
exactly. Acting's, I feel it'll probably be the same way. The more I do it, the more I relax, the more I learn, the better I'll be at like auditioning and stuff like that because I still don't know all the ins and outs of how that works. So I kind of fumble
Mhm.
through
Right,
trying,
yeah.
but that'll come with time. But
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
really, so before, because I just realized we've been chatting up a storm, which is fabulous. And there's nobody on after us, so I'm perfectly fine with that. But is there anything, future projects, anything that you want to promote or do any shout outs for?
Excuse me. Let me cough.
Sound effects.
Mm.
There you
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Um, no,
That's my
not really
voiceover. Aggie
outside
for a
of.
while.
That's right. There you go. No, just watch out for Flower City Butcher and Horror Hound Bites and Midnight Maniac. The Raven series of books is kind of on hiatus at the moment, but that's because me and him have so much other stuff going on. Like I said, he's
Maniac himself.
oh my God, I don't know. Right, he must have I joke with him all the time that he must have like the limitless pill or whatever because like I don't see how he sleeps and does all he does.
He's probably
Because
one
he
of
also
those
does
weird
music and he
people that can like sleep for
well
4 hours and be like energized.
right,
Because Sig, my boyfriend,
right,
he can sleep for like 6 and he can go. And I'm just like, how?
right.
Like, if I don't get 8, I feel like I'm dying. Like, how?
Yeah.
And he snores. You might hear him in the
Yeah, I
background.
understand.
But
No, I haven't heard anything, so you're good there. Um, so that I can't think. Well, I have a couple other little fun little things in the works that I'm not sure I can mention yet, but um, so stay tuned. Oh, and also I'm working a bit on Metal Earth, which is fun. Um, it's
Metal
like an
Earth?
animated Metal Earth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a anthropomorphic
Okay. Like,
post-apocalyptic
that's what I was going to
crazy
say.
wild like yeah, it's a lot of fun. And basically it's just this crazy collaboration between some beautifully creative but also beautifully insane individuals who have all sort of come together to do something crazy and beautiful together. And so yeah, just maybe check that out. But other than
Awesome.
that, yeah, there's one or two possible things on the horizon that like I said, I can't mention, but hopefully soon there can be news. So
So be on the lookout for Josh
yes,
News. And make sure you
yes,
check out his books on Amazon, the whole series.
yes, yes.
And I'm trying to
Why
think.
not?
He, you can contact him on Facebook, follow him. That way you know what's coming
Yeah.
out. How to get a hold of him if you like his voice acting. Um, can we think of anything else here, Josh, before we close out the day?
No, not really. I think we're good. As I've
She's like, I'm done with you. Like, I can't talk to this
no,
woman.
no,
She's
like
insane.
no, no, like I explained to you when we first set this up months ago or whatever. I was like, hey, I'm exceptionally uninteresting. So like, I'm shocked we got this much out of the conversation. So
You're fine. Oh, and we were so busy talking, I forgot to check chat. We actually had the official for entertainment show up in our chat. It's just two cool people
aw,
right there. Love you, mwah. And they
woot
also
woot.
said Josh does a good job with voice acting. So see, they were impressed. So there you go. There's your little loves.
Thanks,
They are
guys.
the Kamanos, the directors of Flower City
Yes.
Butcher and Horror Hound Bites. So they're popping
Yes.
in, saying hi. Um, all right, if there's nothing else, I hate to do it, but we're creeping up past the hour. I just want to take a moment
We're
and
good.
say thank you for being here and spending the hour with me. I had a blast.
Of
And for
course.
you
Yeah.
watching,
Let's do it again
thank you as
sometime. Yeah.
always. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we might talk about something else with,
Yes, yes,
behind the
yes,
scenes.
yes.
Um,
Yes.
but beyond that, I want to let everyone know, as usual, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. And as always, Sweet dreams. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.